Okay, so that looks pretty good. Keith is up again. He says, being greedy here. Second question, in a silo structure, do you recommend a silo menu in the sidebar or just use internal linking in the pages? It's entirely up to you. I like having a silo menu in the sidebar. I know Jeffrey SEO Design Solutions or SEO Design Framework that does that, as well as your plugin. Does it do that as well?
The new one that we have coming out will have the silo functionality. So
in the plugin. Awesome.
Yep. So that way you'll be able to use it on any theme that you want. So,
awesome.
But yeah, I also concur that the sidebar menu is good for feeding the silo as long as you don't overdo the keywords and the titles. That's the main thing. You don't want to stuff a bunch of keywords in the sidebar. So you should have the ability to tone down the keywords and the titles in your sidebar, but it's just going to continue to feed the category and the silo that it's in versus using just a contextual link.
Very good. Let's see. Do you recommend just one link in the silo page to the next silo page, or would you link to the silo head also be advisable? What do you advise reference inclusion or not in the sitemap for silo pages? Okay. The way that I've always done silos, guys, and we've got like the master on here about that, so I'm curious, but what he has to say. But typically, if it's in the same silo, if it's a natural occurrence that there's a linking opportunity from one article to another, whether it's a supporting post, it could be a sibling post, it could be a child post. In other words, it could be like another subcat. As long as it's all in the same silo, if it occurs naturally, I just link to it. Like, I don't force links unless, I'm trying to do something specific. But if there's a mention of another page or post within that same silo that's relevant, then I absolutely will link to it. And then I'll link back up to the silo heading. It just depends. As long as there's internal linking going throughout the entire silo, as far as through my testing, it works fine. Again, sometimes I don't force a particular link from one post to another unless I'm trying to accomplish something specific. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think that it's all about referential integrity. And so the one thing that you want to do is make sure that you don't, there's two questions that he asked here. I just want to sort of specify that. He's just suggesting, do you recommend just one link to the silo page and the next silo page? Well, first of all, you'd never link over to the next silo. You'd want to use your main navigation to do that. And the reason you do that is that there's something that's called a visual page segmentation algorithm that looks at different portions of the page with more weight. So for example, your navigation, your gutters and sidebars and your footer are considerably less weight and pass less link flow than your contextual primary body text area. So contextual links carry a lot more weight than navigation links. And so if you use a contextual link from one silo to the next, you would essentially be bleeding that. Right. So in your main navigation, you're okay to do that, but you would just use that in your main navigation. It's another topic. It's normal for usability that you would have different topics in your site to transfer, to have a person go from one place to the other. So on that first one, don't link across silos contextually. And then the second one, you're asking, would a link to the silo head also be advisable? We always want to link up to your silo head from your categories and your content. And to reference Bradley's point, if you wanted to have, if there's a page in your sibling pages that you want to give a little more weight to, it's okay to internally link for that, because everything that you do in those child supporting articles are going to help the category in the silo rank.
Yep. Network Empire called that buoyancy.
Yes. Yeah.
Buoyancy.
Yep. Yep. It really works. Everything's going to
absolutely. And just Keith, I think there's a little bit of an interpretation issue with your question. Just to be clear, if you're talking about linking from one page within a silo to another page within the same silo or another post within the same silo, that's fine. But what Jeffrey said is absolutely correct, which is not to link from one silo to another. I do it occasionally for navigational purposes for user experience, but I do it with a no follow link if I'm going to do it. Does that make sense? So, okay.